So this is the third or fourth time I've tried to do this. There was like a murder across the street the last time I went to do it. There's like ambulances and things. The sirens are off. So if something happens, let me know. But anyway, as many of you guys know, I have a couple of passions in life. One is politics. Two is trying to make people laugh. Sometimes that works. I thrift store shop. I get a lot of weird stuff there. And I also love bourbon. A couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago, I put on my Twitter kind of a call to see what people's favorite bourbons were. And one of the weirdest things came up. And I was able to find it yesterday. I was going to order it, but it was it's so expensive to ship bourbon. If you're not shipping a bunch of bourbon, it's like $20-$30. It's not worth it, especially when you go and get like a cheaper bottle of bourbon. And so I got a cheaper bottle of bourbon. It's very interesting, and it was something that somebody challenged me to try. Skrewball. See if I can get in there. Peanut butter bourbon. Listen, this is the first time I'm doing one of these like this, even though I've worked in studios and stuff. I should know better on lighting. But Skrewball peanut butter bourbon, and I wanted to try it for you guys today because I have a sneaky suspicion either it's going to be brilliant or it's going to suck. And I just want to say yesterday, when I found this in Baltimore. I found the holy grail of hard-to-find bourbons on the shelf as well, Weller Antique. So wasn't a total loss. I'm not going to crack this one open today. I have a couple of these. But Skrewball peanut butter bourbon is what we're going with. And just in case things go bad, I've got the old faithful here. I've had this for a while, actually. This is the good palate cleanser. If you ever want to just find a good bourbon, if you're new to bourbon, Wild Turkey 101, it's 101 proof. It's a good sipper. I would not suggest drinking this. I've had this for a couple of years now, actually. I would not suggest drinking this like crazy. It's a good burn, good sipper. Anyway, I'm going to try this two different ways. Skrewball peanut butter bourbon. I've never tried it. Like I said, I think it's either going to be brilliant or it's going to be awful. This is very highly debated online, and the person who recommended it told me it's really great pouring it over ice cream. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't pour bourbon over ice cream. I don't usually use mixers either unless it's really, really bad. And this, if you got to pour it over ice cream, it's 70 proof. It's 35% alcohol as opposed to Wild Turkey 101 is 101 proof. That's 50.5% alcohol. I can do math. So I'm going to try this two different ways. I'm going to do it in my Wild Turkey sampling cup here. And then I'm also going to do it with a cube. I have very little faith in this stuff, and I just want to say that. So I'm going to throw a cube in to this guy, and I'm just going to pour first into the sample here. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. I just cracked that. I don't know if you heard the crack. It doesn't smell like peanut butter. It smells like caramel popcorn. I have a popcorn thing too. Like I do like a good popcorn. I don't like sugar popcorn, but like that's so I'm just gonna do a little bit here. I'm gonna leave that. Again, this is flavored whiskey from a company. Where are they? Skrewball. I think they're in San Jose, California. This is not a Kentucky bourbon. It's hard to read the label. You know, I should have done some research into this ahead of time. But it's hard to read the label. I'm pretty certain this is California. I lucked out that this was on a shelf in Glen Burnie, Maryland. I don't know if you know Maryland or not, but it was on a shelf in Glen Burnie, Maryland with the Weller. And if you don't know anything about bourbon, Weller 107, one of the hardest to get right now. They're probably just holding back on it. But all right, so this smells like caramel popcorn. I have very low, like I expected some peanut butter to start. It's not. And that wasn't a woof from alcohol content. It was a woof from sugar. Whiskey shouldn't taste like dessert, nor should bourbon, even though it is sweeter than a scotch. I'm not a scotch guy, I'm a bourbon guy. I could definitely taste the peanut butter. So there's like an odd wave of flavor that goes through your palate when you do this. You have salted caramel popcorn, and then on the back end, it's like a touch of peanuts. Okay, I'm going to, again, you can tell how much faith I have in something by how little I pour of it. That's actually because I'm not going to do, again, here's my ice. That is it. That is all I'm going to do with that. This is going to be probably something that I save for parties. So the ice and actually a little bit of water, because this ice has been melting for a bit, does bring out the peanuts more in it. It's actually a lot more peanut butter. That's a significant difference between just the regular warm room temperature and then putting it over ice. You do taste the peanut butter in this and the peanuts. So I'm going to tell you now, if you like candy, and you're kind of a girl when it comes to, dare I gender things, kind of a girl when it comes to bourbon and whiskey, and you want a good flavored whiskey, I don't even know if I'd recommend this. It is... so on the label, by the way, it says, Skrewball Peanut Butter Whiskey to the Misfits, Black Sheep, and Skrewballs. Whiskey with natural flavors and caramel color. And caramel flavor, it should say. But this tastes like peanuts. And it is a novelty I will save for people when they come over to my place to try. That being said, I am not going to drink any more of that, and I need a palate cleanser, and I'm going to Old Faithful here. This is what I like to call Old Faithful. You can get these on sale sometimes, and it's a great deal, actually. This is a great, just regular old bourbon, if you want to try it again, Wild Turkey 101. For like $33 for a handle, and it should last you forever. Don't be an alcoholic. When you pour this over ice, it should only be an ounce or two. Now I have to cleanse my palate with this stuff. This is Skrewball. I'm not going to recommend it. I'm going to say no to Skrewball. It's a novelty. It's cute. The fact that it's spread like wildfire, and they had such a negative campaign about it online. People complaining about it and saying how terrible it is. It gave them the marketing they wanted. No press is bad press, right? Isn't that a thing that people say? Or I think there's such a thing as bad press. But this, my friends, is the palate cleanser to kill it. It's Wild Turkey 101. You can see the difference in pour there from what I did with the Skrewball. And that is a good bourbon. That is a fantastic bourbon. It's if you're not used to 100 proof, you're going to have to sip it a little bit more than I do, but fantastic with a little bit of water on it. It cuts it. It's a classic. Wild Turkey 101 is a classic bourbon. So I just wanted to taste that. This was done. I was going to order this because I was so intrigued by it. I got to get that taste out of my mouth. It's awful. It's rotten. I had high hopes. Look, I like peanuts. I like peanut butter. I like bourbon. Skrewball, however, let's get that label in there. It's probably better back here. Look, I'm not good with the lighting yet, all right? So stop complaining. Skrewball, not great. And again, if you want like a really great, the bottle's kind of cool. It had like an ice cream cone at the bottom with a sheep. Kind of, not an ice cream cone, like a popsicle with a sheep at the bottom. You probably can't see that. But thumbs down. Big thumbs down on Skrewball, peanut butter, whiskey, bourbon. Whiskey? Doesn't matter. Peanut butter liquor is what it should be called. No. Stick with Wild Turkey 101. And if you're lucky enough to find it, this fella here is my absolute favorite. Weller 107, Antique 107. It is a wheated bourbon. It is sweet. It has a pop. It burns like nobody's business. And is the hardest thing in the business to find right now. Actually, after I called back to the liquor store today after I picked this up, they asked me to call back today to see if they had any more, and they checked with their distributor, and they have no idea when the next time they're going to get this in. They said at least 2 months. So I got the last bottle for 2 months there. So my suggestions today, thumbs up always, Wild Turkey 101, thumbs down, Skrewball, peanut butter bourbon. No, just no. All right, I should do more of these. Let me know if you like this. I'm happy to do more of these. I'm happy to actually have a set instead of this living room. I can probably put a couple of dollars into something, or we can work on it. Actually, I'd probably put the couple of dollars into buying more bourbon. But if you like it, share it, tell your friends. It's kind of fun. I want to do this kind of fun stuff with you, by the way. And it doesn't always have to be about politics. So You can watch me all sorts of places. Fox 5, Sirius XM. I'm filling in for David Webb this Friday. I shouldn't say time things, but this Friday, this week, which would be the 6th. So make sure you check that out. And yeah, enjoy drinking. Drink responsibly. Don't get drunk. I have a couple of friends I went drinking bourbon with one time. Let's talk about this for 1 second. I went drinking bourbon with them. You pour 1 or 2 ounces over a cube at most, 1 or 2 ounces in a glass. You do more than that, you're drinking a little too much. You need to appreciate it. Don't be drunk. All right. That being said, guys, thanks for watching. This is the first time I've done one of these little tasting things on the internet. So if you like it, share it, tell your friends. Let's drink together.